gas station and I see this guy, and you know how like you see a guy and you just know he's about to harass you? Yeah. So he goes, hey, hey, hey. I'm pretending I can't fucking hear him, obviously, and he walks in front of me. Hey. So now I have to fucking talk to him. So he goes, you look familiar. I said, no, I don't. I'm not even from here. He goes, well, where are you from? Missouri. I don't know why I said that. I literally don't know a single fucking thing about Missouri. But that's what I said. And he goes, oh, well, let me buy your stuff. No need. I don't want to talk to you. He grabs my stuff and walks to the front of the store. I don't want to cause a scene. So I was like, fuck it. You can buy it. Whatever. Transaction ends. I leave. Of course, I'm parked at the fucking gas pump because I needed gas. And lo and behold, shocked to freaking nobody, he follows me to the freaking gas pump. And he goes, let me pay for your gas. I wasn't going to turn down free gas, obviously. So he starts pumping the gas, and then he goes, so I'm trying to get your phone number. Like, no duh. Obviously, you're trying to get my fucking phone number. Now, normally I just give people a fake number and, like, fucking keep it pushing, you know? But I just felt like he was going to call me and, like, let me make sure it's a real number, right? Like, and that's exactly what the fuck he did. So I gave him the number, he leaves, and he immediately starts blowing my fucking phone up. I block him because I have common fucking sense. Because I'm not even fucking kidding. I see him a week later at the same gas station. A couple things to keep in mind here though. I have two phones and they're like linked to each other. So if I block you on my main phone, I'll still get your messages on my second phone. So technically your message will still say delivered, because it went to my second phone, just I won't see it on my personal phone. And then the first time I saw him, I had like my hair straight, full beat, whatever. And then the next time I saw him, I had like my curly hair, no makeup, whatever. So I see him again, he comes up to me, why haven't you answered any of my messages, like da-da-da-da-da, whatever the fuck. I pretend I don't know who he is. I go, what? Who, like, do I know you? And he goes, don't act stupid, I saw you last week, da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, no, I literally don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And he goes, yeah, you're Kelsey, you're from Missouri, you're da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, you know my sister. He's like, what? Like, da-da-da. I go, yeah. I pull up my second phone, go through my second Instagram to my main Instagram, and I go, her? And he goes, oh, yeah. And then I was like, yeah, like, that's my sister. Like, not to be confused with me, right? And he, like, starts apologizing for, like, literally causing this fucking scene, yelling at me about it, and then he offers to pay for my stuff. Again. Well, he just would not take no for a fucking answer. So he buys the stuff again, and then had the audacity to then ask me, oh, well then, can I get your number? I go, aren't you trying to talk to my sister? And he's like, well, no, sir. I get in my car and I left. Y'all, when I tell you I never went back to that gas station again, never.
Get ready with me while I talk about people that I have a one-sided beef with. First is my high school counselor. I feel like low-key everyone has beef with their high school counselor, but mine told me straight up that I'm probably never going to go to university, so I should give up on that dream. To be fair, my lore is that I missed a lot of school in high school. So when I was like 15, I had a meeting with her where we were discussing how I was going to like make it to university. And the reason I was missing school is because I had chronic migraines, so I would miss class all the time. And she said to me that that was not an excuse and everyone has something that they have to deal with. Like, she was basically insinuating that I just have like a lack of discipline. And yeah, that was soul crushing. So that is what has carried me through university these last 4 years. Okay, this next one I've talked about before because I don't have a one-sided beef with her anymore. But when I was in high school, I had a one-sided beef with Summer Rae. Yes, Summer Rae, the Instagram model. I had a one-sided beef with her because all the boys in high school had a huge crush on her and I was built like a pencil, so I was super jealous. As far as I was concerned, when I was 16, Summer Rae was my enemy. But yeah, I've matured since then and I realized you don't need to hate on random girls because you're jealous. Actually, wait, I lied. I do have a one-sided beef with one model still. I have insane beef with Emily Venz because anytime she models something, she is able to convince me that I will look like her if I buy the clothes she's wearing. Why do I think that? I don't know. She must just be really good at her job. By the way, I'm trying out this new Charlotte Tilbury blush. I swatched it in store. This is the Rosy Glow color. But yeah, anytime I see that girl modeling something on a website, my delusional brain is like, that is exactly how I would look if I own that piece of clothing. And every single time I'm humbled. So for that, we have beef. This next person I have a one-sided beef with is not a celebrity. They are literally a random person. They are a person that goes to my university and I see them literally everywhere. For like 2 years now, I cannot escape them. And I don't go to a small school either. I think like 70,000 people go to my school. So at first I was like, okay, maybe we just have a similar class schedule and that's why I see them everywhere. But then I started to see them off of campus. I literally got off the bus one day and they were there. And I was visiting my friend that lives 30 minutes off of campus. Like, what were they doing there? Another time I was off campus and I went to a coffee shop and guess who was already sitting there? my campus enemy. At this point, I'm convinced they're my soulmate because I see them more than my actual family. Okay, last person that I have a one-sided beef with. This is another person from my school. They've been in 2 of my classes. I don't know what it is. We must have the same brain because whenever there's a participation mark, they always say the same thing that I was going to say, except they beat me to it. Literally every single time. I kid you not, we get assigned reading before class. I will write down what I'm going to say for participation. This person will raise their hand first and say the exact same thing that I was going to say. And now I can't get my participation mark in because everyone's gonna think that I was trying to copy them when no, they're copying me. I just can't prove it, but they're copying me somehow. Yeah, I got a little bit heated there. Sorry. Anyways, if I have a one-sided beef with you, don't take it personally. I have my own issues. Okay, that is all. Bye, guys. The thing I hated most about movies growing up is that the way that mean girls are portrayed is almost never accurate. These are the type of mean girls you find in real life. First is the chill girl. The chill girl is just so chill and relaxed. If you're in a social situation, she'll be sure to point out how loud you're being, and you just need to chill out. She might consider herself a nerd or a tomboy, so she might make fun of you for enjoying makeup because she could never be into that sort of thing. The chill girl thinks because she's not into traditionally girly things, she can't be a mean girl. But the only qualification for being a mean girl is that you're mean. And newsflash, making a girl feel weird or superficial for liking the things that they like, that makes you a bit of a mean girl. Next is the nice girl. Nice girl is sugary sweet on the surface, but she says things that make you feel a little bit excluded or out of the ordinary. She'll come up to you and be super nice. Oh my god, babe, how are you doing? Are you coming tonight? Oh my god, wait, you weren't invited? I had no idea. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I wouldn't have talked about it in front of you if I didn't know you were going. Ugh, we're gonna miss you so much though. Is she being nice because she's nice? Or is she acting nice because it makes her feel better? You'll notice in these interactions, you always leave feeling bad about yourself because they're being nice on the surface, but they're saying things that make you feel left out or excluded. Kind of similar, the next mean girl is the friend to all. The friend to all is super nice to everyone they meet. You'll meet this girl and she'll make you feel so special, but as soon as you turn your back, she's talking about you. You won't even know she's talking bad about you at first. You'll probably find out because you notice that she talks bad about everyone else around you. Like if you're in a conversation with her, if another girl comes up, she'll be super nice to that girl. And as soon as she turns her back, she'll turn to you and be like, oh my god, did you see what she was wearing? Like, what does she think she's doing? And you might think she's gossiping with you because she's really close with you and like she's a friend to you. But really, she just does that to everyone. She acts super nice and like she wants to be your best friend, but really, she's just fake. The next mean girl is the social climber. This girl will only be nice to you if she needs something from you. If you're in a group setting and she doesn't see any value from you, she will ignore you the whole time, never ask you a single question about yourself. She'll be on her phone, she'll roll her eyes, she'll basically act like she wants to be anywhere but with you. But as soon as you have something that they want, they are going to act like your bestest friend in the entire world. Honestly, it might work on you because before they were ignoring you. Now when they're giving you that positive attention, it does feel really good. But just know, as soon as you're not serving them anymore, they're going to drop you. The last mean girl to look out for is your fake friend. Now this mean girl is probably the hardest to spot because you don't think she's a mean girl since she's your friend. Probably the most obvious sign that your fake friend is a mean girl is that she's fueled by jealousy. They usually have a glass half empty attitude about anything in your life. Like you got a new boyfriend, maybe you're his rebound. Or wow, you got 90 on a test, but what was that 10% you got wrong? When something goes bad in your life, they're definitely gonna be there for you, but it kind of feels like it's because they want to relish in your failures. You best believe when things start to turn around for you and your life is looking kind of great, they're gonna put doubts in your mind and remind you of all the times things didn't go well for you. Hey, who needs enemies when you have a friend like that? I find most of the time, mean girls will not be mean to your face, and that's why it's so hard to spot them. But my biggest piece of advice is to trust your gut. If something somebody said is making you feel not great, there's probably a reason for that. Remember, it's better to have one real friend than 100 fake friends. Bye guys!
Things that are considered disrespectful, but I don't think they are. First is somebody saying I don't want to when someone asks why they won't do something. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't want to is a very valid response. Matter of fact, I'd prefer that than having you lie or come up with an excuse. I feel like you don't always need a justified and detailed reason. Sometimes you simply just don't feel like it, and that's a valid reason to me. Next thing that's considered disrespectful, but I don't think it is not waiting until everybody has their food to start eating, especially if we haven't had food in a really long time. In my opinion, you do not have to wait for my food to come. I'd actually get irritated if you do wait for my food to come because I know you're hungry as hell, and I feel like it's my fault that you're not eating. I guess it's manners. I don't know. Being hungry isn't disrespectful to me. Next thing that's considered disrespectful, but I don't think it is choosing to not loan money. Y'all are gonna hate to hear this, but you're not obligated to anyone else's bag, no matter how badly you need the money. Even if they have the money to spare and they choose not to, you don't have to agree with their choice, obviously, but you can't automatically assume that they're being selfish or malicious either. Everybody has their reasons, and even if it isn't a good reason in your opinion, at the end of the day, I don't personally see it as disrespectful because it's their hard-earned money, and you can't tell nobody what to do with their hard-earned money. Next thing that's considered disrespectful, but I don't think it is talking back to somebody that's older than you if they disrespected you first. I support respecting your elders, but standing your ground or defending yourself isn't disrespectful. How I see it, if somebody's coming at you sideways, being older does not give them a free pass. I'm gonna give myself a second before I open my eyes. You may be above me in age, but you're not above accountability. But we are finished. Deuces, deuces, and deuces.
So when I was in high school, I was friends with this girl. For story's sake, we'll call her Hannah. So it was like near the end of our senior year. I had gone and driven to Hannah's house, and it was just me and her. We were just like, hanging out, whatevs. And she starts talking about how she wants to go to this party that these kids at our school were throwing. This location was called The Barn, and it was a literal barn that this kid would throw parties at, right? So I had never been to the fucking barn ever in my life. I never had fucking planned on going there, solely based on the fact, so the friend group that would throw parties at the barn, I didn't agree with the ideology. Frankly, I didn't even like any of them as people either. So I was like, fuck no, I'm not fucking taking my ass there. But she wanted to get her ass in there so bad just so she could talk to her ex-boyfriend that she has been on again, off again for how many goddamn years. And at this time, he was with a completely different bitch, you know? So in my head, I was like, there's so many things wrong with this situation and so many things that could go even worse. So me being me, just trying to please my friends, I was like, fine, we'll go, but I do not want to stay long at all. Like, just do what you need to do. Like, we need to be there like an hour max, maybe 30 minutes max. So I had hit up like 3 of my other friends to come with us because, like, again, like, I don't really know anyone at this fucking party, not really friends with any of them, don't like most of them. So yeah, they come with us, they pick us up, we arrive at the fucking barn, and the first thing we see is this kid fucking walks out of the barn and comes up to us and starts critiquing what my friends are wearing. Like, what the fuck is this? Are you a goddamn bouncer? And he's like talking to my friend like, I don't like the shoes you got on. Like, bitch, get the fuck back where the fuck you were. Do you, like, ugh. And immediately I was like, oh my god, I literally want to go home, but we press forward. So then my other 3 friends start talking about how they want to leave after like 30 minutes, maybe an hour passes. They're like, they want to leave. People here are fucking weird. They're giving them a hard time. They don't like them. And they just want to go home. And I was like, bitch, fuck yeah, like, I want to fucking leave, you know? So I'm talking to Hannah, like, all of us are talking to Hannah. We're like, okay, like, I think that was enough. Like, we should go. Hannah didn't get a chance to talk to her boy yet, so she didn't want to leave, obviously. She started asking me, like, do you think we can just find another ride and you can stay with me and they can go? And I was like, me being people-pleasy again, I was like, sure, like, we'll just find a different ride. And then I told my other 3 friends, like, okay, it's fine, you can go, and we'll figure it out, you know? Which I don't know why the fuck I did that, because we weren't friends with anyone there. No one was gonna fucking take us home. So the night very unfortunately goes on, and then she ends up talking to her boy, and I'm like, fucking finally, now we can almost be fucking done, you know? So, like, they leave me to go talk. I'm like, whatevs, private conversation, don't really care. But I'm by myself, so don't know anyone, by myself. So at this point, they were gone for a while, and I was like, fuck, I'm literally so over this. Like, how long is this gonna fucking take? And I had went to where they were talking. They were, like, in the back of the barn, fucking back of the barnyard. And I go up to them. I'm like, hey, guys, like, what's going on? Can I join you guys? Because literally the whole entire time they were talking, I was, like, walking around this kid's fucking house. Like, literally a stranger's home. I'm just walking around, looking around, went in the barn, went inside their house, and I was like, wow, this is nice, you know? Hannah then tells me, she's like, the conversation's, like, really private. Like, can you, like, go somewhere else? And I was like, fine, because I have nowhere else to go anyways. So I did what I was told, trying to fucking, like, help my friend, and I just sit on this kid's fucking porch by myself, and I'm like, whatever, I'll just wait. And then this girl comes up to me, and she's fucking, like, stumbling all over the place, and I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? And she, like, grabs onto me and everything, and I'm, like, trying to help her up and everything, and I ask her if she's okay, and she's, like, telling me all the shit she was doing and everything like that. And I looked at her face, and I was like, oh my god, this girl, it looks so young. And I asked her, and I'm like, hey, how old are you, by the way? And she's like, oh, I'm in 8th grade, like, I'm 13. And I told her, I was like, bitch, we are literally seniors, like 17, 18-year-olds. And I was like, dude, I should have known, I should have never fucking come here. And I was telling the girl, I'm like, oh my god, what you need to do, you need to call your mother You need to go home. I don't care how much trouble you're gonna get in. You cannot be here. And at that point, I was so fucking uncomfortable. So then I went back to Hannah, and I was like, please, can we, like, go? I'm so uncomfortable right now. Literally, a fucking preteen came up to me just now. And she continues to, like, shoo me away because she's still talking. So I'm getting fucking irritated. So I walk into the house, like, fucking storm into this person's fucking house, and I see a girl that I have, like, fucking art class with, you know? And I start talking to her. I'm like, hey, girl, like, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, hey, like, blah, 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 like, oh my god, I didn't think you'd be here, you know? Like, you know how bitches be, you know? So I'm talking to that girl, and then all her little cheerleader friends come over, too, and start talking to us because they were all going home together. And that's when I slip in. I'm like, hey, guys, like, real talk, like... do you think I can catch a ride with you guys? Because, like, my friend is still talking, I have nowhere to go, and, like, I'm literally, like, just stranded here. And they're like, girl, of course you can come with us. So I'm like, thank God they were fucking there that night. So then I walk back to the porch, and, like, the fucking little girl is, like, on her phone and everything like that. She's like, my mom's gonna come pick me up. Okay, I sat there, and I waited for her mother to come get her, and I talked to her mother. I didn't even know the fucking girl's name, but I was like, I don't know why she's here, but people here are older, and these people are weird, and I'm trying to leave. She needs to go home. So her mom took her home, and then I went to go find Hannah again. I'm like, Hannah, I'm leaving because fuck you, to be honest, for making me do this. Yeah, I'm obviously mad at her, and I just tell her I'm going. And then I leave with all these fucking, like, cheerleader girls. And I tell them to drop me off at Hannah's house, and I get there, and right when I get there, it's fucking 3 a.m. at this point. Hannah then calls me, and she's like, can you please pick me up? And I told her I was irritated, and I was like, dude, I've been wanting to leave for literally hours, because we got there at, what, maybe 10 o'clock? It's 3 a.m. Before I left, too, I literally asked her, I'm like, is it okay if I go? Like, even though I'm fucking angry, I'm like, is that okay, though? You know what I mean? And she's like, yeah, I'll figure it out. She didn't figure it out, so she just asked me. So she made me drive fucking, like, 20 minutes back, because she was mad at me and everything, and I can't deal with people being mad at me before. So I got her, I dropped her off at her house, and I fucking took my ass home, finally. Moral of the story is, it's okay to have boundaries, and you should be able to say no. And that if you are friends with someone who is constantly pressing you for their own benefit and doing things only for their benefit, yeah, stop being friends with them, girl.
Everyone talks about the friends you meet in high school, but nobody talks about the friends that you meet through your boyfriend. Because these girls, they are my people. So this is the story of how we all fell in love. So me and Ashlyn have known each other for 5 years. That is a story for a whole nother day. But basically me and Ashlyn were going to a Noah Kahan concert. Emma's boyfriend is friends with my boyfriend. So me and Ashlyn were already planning on having a cute little girls weekend. We were going to the Noah Kahan concert, and I texted Emma and was like, hey, we're gonna be in Toronto, like, come and bring a friend. Which led us to this baddie right here named Maddie. Okay, so we were going to a Noah Kahan concert, and Maddie, how many songs did you know?
0.
Literally 0.
Actually, no, I knew Stick Season. Yeah, I knew a little bit of that.
She only knew Stick Season, but something inside of her was telling her to come to this girls' weekend. So we only had plans to hang out for one night, but we ended up going to a Noah Kahan concert, a Benson Boone concert, a workout class, going to the mall. Oh yeah, and a Kane Brown concert. Like, I have never immediately clicked so fast with anybody in my life. I also forgot to mention, Maddie just so happens to be dating my boyfriend's friend as well. So now we basically try to spend every single weekend together, and tonight we just so happen to be going to Earl's in Toronto. None of us have ever been to Earl's before, and apparently they have espresso martinis on the tap. So I think it's gonna be a little bit of a crazy night. Okay guys, this is how the makeup is looking. I'm gonna go do my hair and I will be right back.
Things my parents have actually caught me for. First was hanging out with the guy on Valentine's Day with the guy that I kept insisting was just my friend. I had met up with him previously on numerous occasions, and my mom always saw us, but whenever we were together I would just say like, oh, don't worry, like, he's just my friend. Some reason I just couldn't bring it out of me to tell my mom that we were dating, but when it obviously looked like we were on a date, I would just make up lies and say, oh, we just ran into each other, like, I don't know this guy. So on Valentine's Day I was literally holding flowers from him and in a whole ass maxi dress, and my mom saw us together and was like, what is this? Like, you're not supposed to be hanging out with him right now. You told me you were going to a Galentine's. And even then I still tried to make up a little lie. In the end I got caught and she found out. Second was playing Bed Wars or watching anime with random people in Discord servers until like 3 a.m. every night. Parents were very strict on a bedtime that I had to be in bed before like 11 p.m. every single night. Obviously though, back in quarantine, everyone was like gaming all the time and you can't put a bedtime on that. So after my parents went to sleep, I would hop on a voice chat with like a huge Discord server, literally be like raging and screaming on Minecraft. I was one of those people. But anyways, one day I was screaming so loud, I think, that my mom came up and checked on me, and she was so pissed. She like took away my entire PC setup. I wouldn't talk to her for weeks. To this day, I still have to charge all of my electronics downstairs because of this occurrence. Something that happened to me recently was that I almost got caught driving when I wasn't supposed to. I did get my license recently, but obviously my parents are gonna be strict about the 6-month rule. Basically that you can't drive anyone other than family members until 6 months after you get your license. And since my parents are extra strict, I can't really go outside of a 3-mile radius of my home unless they're in the car with me. So essentially nothing changed about my lifestyle. But obviously I'm not gonna let that happen. Like, I got my license for a reason. So a few days ago, my sister and my mom were going to the gym. I just took that opportunity to leave my house and go pick up my friend just for some Taco Bell. Obviously, I turn off my location just so she can't know that I left the house without her knowing. She automatically checks my location and sees that it's off, starts FaceTiming me when me and my friend are in the Taco Bell drive-thru. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, oh my gosh, I am actually cooked. Taco Bell is like 10 minutes away, so I don't know how I managed to do this, but I did not answer any of her calls that entirety of the 10 minutes that I took to drive home. Y'all, it was actually rough. I was like speeding and swerving, and I know that is not good. It wasn't that bad, but definitely top 10 scariest experiences of all time. There are definitely more, but that's all I can think of right now. Let me know if you can relate.
Get ready with me while I tell you the worst ways I've been rejected. But first, if you see this in our FYP, comment FYP. Okay, so the first way I got rejected was basically in 4th grade. Okay, so we're gonna call him DeMarco. And so basically I had a crush on DeMarco. So basically me and DeMarco were in the same reading group, but me and DeMarco weren't each other's reading partners. Like, we had different reading partners. So basically one day DeMarco's reading partner and my reading partner got to arguing. Like, y'all, they got to arguing so bad they done ripped the book we was reading. So basically our reading teacher was like, y'all finna have to go sit to the side. Y'all doing too much. And she was like, Destiny, you and DeMarco finish reading. So y'all, I'm just geeked. I'm like, oh my goodness, me and my future man reading together. So basically, me and DeMarco is reading. And when I tell y'all, this is the best I've ever read in my life. My dyslexic life, this is the best I've ever read. So y'all, we were popcorn reading, and basically DeMarco's like, wow, I really liked reading with you. So y'all, basically, when our partners come back to the table, he tells them, I want Destiny to be my reading partner now. He's like, yeah, I want to switch reading partners. And I'm like, y'all, I'm geeked. I'm really geeked about it. I'm like, oh my goodness, this really could be my man. We could read together. Like, we gonna be partners doing projects together and stuff. And y'all, DeMarco's reading partner, she did not like me. Like, I don't know what it was growing up, but a lot of people just did not like me. So y'all, basically, my partner and DeMarco's reading partner was like, nah, don't be partners with her. She's weird. Like, they really told him that. And y'all know what he did? He was just like, yeah, y'all right. What? So y'all, that's basically what happened with the first one. Okay, so the next way I got rejected, it was in multiple different ways I got rejected from this man. So we gonna call him Peppermint. Like, y'all, Peppermint will always be joking. He was like, get away from me, GTFO away from me. I'd be like, no, I'm not. Y'all, he took that really serious one day. Y'all, he has this account, so I hope he does not see this video. So y'all, this was at the end of school year, and we was studying for exams. Y'all, I was texting Peppermint that day, and I was like, oh, where are you at? What are you doing? You know? And he was being so dry with me, y'all. Like, he did not want to talk to me. So, not gonna lie, while we was doing activities, because we could also, like, do activities and stuff instead of studying, I was just, like, walking around trying to find what class he was in. Because, not gonna lie, I also needed help. So, I was trying to look for him, but get help. And, y'all, I walked past his class, and my friend said, hey, ain't that Peppermint? Oh, there he was, sitting down, doing his work. And so basically then, I walk into class. Y'all, I walk up to him, he says, get away from me. After the first time, most people would get away. I did not.
So I keep trying to talk to Peppermint and start a conversation. Y'all, it was not going good. So basically, I'm joking back and forth with him. And I'm like, you better stop or I give you a hug. At my big age. So basically ask him, do he want a hug? And he's like, no, I do not want a hug. Get away from me. He's not saying it in like, get away from me, you're weird kind of way, you know? He's saying it in like a joking tone. Because y'all, we would joke back and forth. So he's saying it in a joking way. And I'm like, no, I'm going to give you a hug. I'm going to give you a hug. So mind you, he's sitting down in a chair and I'm standing up. So I just give him a hug. So y'all, not gonna lie, he doesn't hug me back. It's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. I'm just happy there wasn't a lot of people in that class. But after that, he was laughing at me, y'all. He was laughing. I seen him later in the hallway with somebody and they were laughing. And so later on, I found out that Peppermint was taken. And yeah. So y'all, that's basically it for the video. Let me know in the comments below y'all worst rejections. Bye, y'all.
I saw a girl on TikTok do this, but she made a TikTok about things that she like didn't like about herself or that were wrong with her, and I thought it was so funny, so I'm gonna do it. My first one is that I like boys. Like, okay, natural, whatever, but like, it's just annoying. I feel like I get like obsessed with them, and it's not healthy, and it's like, it's all I can think about, and it like consumes my brain. And it pisses me off. I notice it's happening, but I can't stop it. So I feel like I just piss everyone off around me because I can't shut up about the one person. And it's just so annoying. Another thing is I try really hard not to be a pick-me to the point where I feel like sometimes I'm a pick-me trying not to be a pick-me. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm like actually disgusting. I'm so messy. I try so hard to be clean. Be like clean girl aesthetic. No, like I sleep on my makeup probably every night. I also hate how pale I am. I feel like sometimes in group settings I will make like a comment that I think is super funny and nobody thinks it's funny except for me, so then I'm just like, oh, I'm an idiot and everybody hates me. And I think about like how I embarrassed myself in that like group setting over and over and over and over again, and then I just sit there like this. I tell myself I like to go out and party and do stuff, and sometimes I do, but usually I get there and I want to go home. I'm like, why did I come here? And I feel like I just like fake having fun. I don't know. Another thing that I do that genuinely bothers me like so bad is how like I move. I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but I feel like the way like that, like the way I move is just like cringy. Like the way I go about moving my body is just cringy. Like I'll see videos of me and I'm like, ooh, like I literally look like one of those cringe videos. Like I literally am a walking try not to cringe. I also get self-conscious of the way I walk, and then I like forget how to walk. So then it's like, now I just know I look like an idiot. Like, cause now I'm like thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know. I just know I look like an idiot. This is like me just being insecure, but like, if I'm like with a group of people and we're sitting down, I hate sitting down. And if I do, like, I want a pillow to cover up my stomach. But it's like, everyone already knows you're fat, bro. Like, get over it. They already know. And like bowling, I hate bowling, especially for dates. Like it's fun, I like bowling, but it's like then I get insecure and I forget that I hate bowling, or I forget I don't like bowling until I'm like bowling, because like I hate sitting down. Like I don't want you to go and bowl the ball and then turn around and look at me and I'm just like a pile of rolls sitting there watching you bowl. I also hate the way I dress. Like, I don't dress the way I want to dress because I'm scared I'm gonna get judged. And so, like, I never am like, oh, like, I, like, look so cute. I don't know. And also, the way I used to dress makes me want to die. I see pictures of myself and I'm like, who let me out of the house? Yikes. Okay, another one is the way I talk. Like, I'll hear videos of me talking that like other people have taken, and I'm just like,
Oh my gosh, like, there's no way I have friends because I sound like that. Same with, like, watching back my TikToks. Like, I'll, like, change my voice and I don't mean to. And I try to talk normal, but I can't control it. Another thing I do is I make dumb choices because I don't feel real, or I'm like, oh, for the plot, like, it'll be funny. But, like, then later I'm like, why would you do that? Like, that was literally dumb. And then I'm, like, embarrassed and have to suffer the consequences of it. But, like, I thought I was so funny in the moment. Like, hello, just be normal, like a normal human being. Okay, this next one, it's not really, like, I don't like this about myself. It's just kind of weird. Like, I still think I look the same way I did in middle school. So it's like, I look at myself and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I just, like, will stare at myself. And like, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so ugly. And then I'll, like, look at myself and I'm like, oh, actually, you're not that bad. And then, so I'm, like, self-obsessed, but it's, like, I'm actually just insecure, and I'm, like, trying to, like, gaslight myself into thinking I'm hot. Another thing about me is I do a full beat like this almost every day, and I think people aren't going to be able to tell. Like, this is my natural face to me, and I'm fine with it. Okay, that's enough bashing on myself for the day. This is my final makeup, and be nice to yourselves.
Get ready with me while I talk about my boyfriend and his girl best friend. More specifically, like, what they do together. For some background information, my boyfriend and his girl best friend have been, like, best friends for, like, 2 years, I'd say. They're super close, and, like, I feel like I can't say anything about it because, like, why should I, like, stop their, like, friendship of, like, 2 years? I obviously trust my boyfriend, so whoever, like, he wants in his life, he can have because I trust him. His parents, like, have met her, like, he brings her over to his house, like, for dinners and things like that. He snaps her and texts her, like, every day, and she is one of his, like, highest streaks, and, like, so anytime I, like, bring it up, like, I feel awkward about it because, like, he's like, oh, I don't want to lose the streak. She'll send him, like, fit pics, though, and, like, ask for his, like, opinion on, like, what she's wearing, and, like, if she should, like, change or something like that. They also went to the same high school together, so they were, like, in school, like, 2 years together. He texts her and says he, like, misses her, and, like, she does the same, and she, like, asks to, like, hang out with him, like, constantly. She'll visit him at work and, like, bring him, like, food that, like, she makes or, like, buys for him. They hang out, like, pretty often. Like, she's either at his house or he goes to her house. And, like, both of their parents like each other. Like, what? When he goes on vacation, he'll buy her stuff, too. Like, he'll, like, bring her back, like, a t-shirt, like, a keychain, like, jewelry, like, she seems super sweet, though, and, like, super nice, so I'm not too sure what to think about this. Like, there's this big fair that, like, people go to, and it's only, like, a week long, and I asked him if he could go, like, if we could go, and he was like, no, I'm busy, like, I have work, and, like, I had work, too, but he took his girl best friend, like, last night. They FaceTime so often, and he, like, plays Fortnite with her and things, and, I don't know, like, she'll, like, play with his friends, too, like, they'll play, like, squads, trios, whatever, and they'll, like, FaceTime to go to sleep sometimes, like, I'll ask him to FaceTime and be like, I'm FaceTiming already. If she's hungry, he'll, like, offer to, like, DoorDash her food and, like, bring her food. Like, I don't know if I should be supportive that he has, like, other friends, even if it's a girl, or if I should, like, look more into this. Like, I just, like, don't want to seem, like, controlling or anything. They'll send each other, like, cute little TikToks, and, like, they'll send it, like, back and forth to each other. He's taking her to his, like, little niece's birthday party today. I have to go now, though, or I'm gonna be late to my boyfriend's niece's birthday party, because I'm going as his girl best friend. If my boyfriend had a girl best friend, I'd actually go feral. So thank God I'm his girl best friend.
I have some piping hot tea, but it's gonna remain nameless. Luckily for me, said person doesn't know this account exists, but one of my friends does. It's whatever, here's the tea. So a little bit of backstory. I used to live in Texas, and in Texas, we would live in, like, these houses and whatever. Like, some houses it would be 6 girls, some houses would be 8 girls. Final house was, like, 3 girls. But there was this one girl there. I want to give her a name. Let's call her Anna. And then another girl who's, like, my friend, Kate, I guess. So basically when I was at Texas, Kate was, like, one of my, like, close friends. And Anna was chill, but, like, Kate and I were, like, really friends. Anna, I didn't really love her, but, like, I wouldn't say that, like, we were, like, on good terms, I guess. Anna ended up getting out, I think like, how many months? Like 6 months before I did of Texas. Flash forward 6 months, I'm out. Anna and I aren't really in contact because we weren't really super close. Like, we talked occasionally if there were like not other people to talk to. But by no means would I like call her my friend. So the significance of Kate in the story. Kate's a fucking queen. She slays. We love her. Unlike me, she was in contact with Anna kind of the whole time she was out of Texas. To the point that they were like living together. Like, they live together. They both have their men. Like, they're 18, whatever, fun times. At this point, I'm in contact with Kate. Not really a lot, but like, we text every now and again. But Kate and Anna, they had this huge falling out. Whatever. Okay, so Kate told me the story. I'm 100% on Kate's side, but honestly, it could be biased, but I trust her. She sent me a text at 1 in the morning. I literally just woke up and I was like, okay, this is what I need to talk about today. But basically, Anna chose her boyfriend over Kate when they had their falling out. I would say Anna is about like 19 right now. 20 maybe. She's pregnant. And no, it was not planned. Holy, cause what? But she posted a TikTok about it, so I can't imagine she wants to keep it private, which is why I'm talking about it. With the caption of the sonogram, flex like me wanna be, okay. But it's a picture of the sonogram, and the fucking caption is oops. What the fuck do you mean, oops? Why are you treating it like it's some joke? It's a new life being brought into the freaking world. I don't know. I'm pretty sure keeping the baby. They haven't been dating that long. And me personally, like, this is my personal opinion. I don't think that's like a great foundation to bring a child into the world. And the only reason I'm talking about this online is because she did post about it. So if you're gonna post about it, you're kind of letting people see that, so people are allowed to form their own opinions. Just from what I have seen and heard and experienced with this girl, I don't know, having a child this early is gonna be the best. It's honestly just crazy, like, hearing these things about people I literally once, like, shared a freaking house with. Despite everything I have said, I do sympathize with her, and I do, like, want it to be okay for her. Her man seems to be sticking around, so that's honestly really good. It's crazy to me that this girl's gonna be a mom, but honestly, I just have to, like, sit back and think. First of all, it's not my situation. Second of all, there's a plan for everything. I have to empathize in the fact where, like, oh, she's so young. It's an unplanned situation. She's living on her own. But I'm not shaming her in any way. I'm genuinely, like, she also needs to know that she, like, has people who are going to support her. And I mean, like, I know we're not the closest, but, like, and I wouldn't, like, house her or anything, but, like, if she needed some, like, emotional support, I'd be there. Anyways, that's the situation and the makeup, so I'll see y'all tomorrow in Cabo.
Get ready with me for senior pictures while I talk about things that your boyfriend is doing. You should probably leave him. Starting off very strong, if he's constantly talking about his ex, saying she's crazy. If he tells you to block her from all of your social medias, there's probably a reason. If he lives more than 45 to an hour away, don't even talk to him. If you have guys and girls texting you being like, do not talk to him, he's bad news, and you ask him about it, and he still says, don't listen to them. I talked to her, and it ended badly, or he doesn't like me because he's jealous of me. If you guys are each other's profile picture or in each other's bio and he is constantly taking you out and then putting you back in, and then you ask about it and it's, well, you made me mad. When you ask to see his phone and he goes, why can't you trust me? How are we supposed to be together
if we have no trust in our relationship. If his location just randomly turns off, or his Life 360 doesn't match his Snapchat, or literally just anything. If his location isn't refreshing, quite literally just anything with a location, and it doesn't look right. Here's a good one. If he takes like 5-hour naps in the middle of the day, who's taking naps every single day from 3 to 8 o'clock? If he says stuff like, oh, well, I was going to get you flowers, or I had a present for you, you have still yet to get it. If you're ever like in an argument or he's doing something and you call him out for it and he says, you're starting to act like my ex. If he's going to like a basketball game that his school isn't even playing at, or just goes to a basketball game or football game in general and he just doesn't respond at all, like the entire time. If he cusses you out or just calls you cuss words or anything, why are you cussing a woman out? Or threatens to leave and like is like, well, maybe we shouldn't be together, or maybe we should break up. Yeah, well then break up with me. You ask him to post you and he just never posts you, or you have to beg him. He's like, well, everybody knows we're together. Everybody already knows. No, they don't. They don't know because you're not. If you ever just bring up something and he's like, literally can pull a tear out of his butt crack and like can quite literally cry in 0.5 seconds and turn on the waterworks, and then you're the one apologizing, girl, why are you apologizing? If he talks to his mom like she's a dog and his mom does not say a word, or if his mom just doesn't ground him in general for doing the most crazy stuff that you could literally possibly think of and he's not getting in trouble for it, if he's spending the night at his friend's house almost every single night of the week, or just never even home, and choosing to hang out with his friends over you. This one actually rages me so bad. Literally just anywhere, and he goes to the bathroom and is gone for like 5 to 10 minutes in the bathroom. What could you possibly be doing? You're not pooping every time you're going to the bathroom. Let's just say if he can cheat on you in the time that it takes to use the bathroom. There's missing spots on his best friends list. Oh, I just don't have that many best friends. Well, there's a fire. I'm not even getting up. But if his Snap score is going up crazy, but he doesn't even have any best friends on his best friends list, where are they going? So my mom's cooking dinner. This might have to be paused. If he goes to the bathroom or literally will never even let you touch his phone and just takes his phone wherever he goes. When he calls you and says, is this your earring? And it's not yours. When he absolutely hates your friends and doesn't let you hang out with them. Or just like calls them and cusses them out. And if they're constantly accusing you of cheating, but you ask them if they're cheating and they act like it's nothing. It's no big deal. Great, it's out. If he's blaming his actions on some traumatic event that happened in his life, so we're having to do this color. If their phone is always dead, always, what are you doing that's draining your phone battery so bad? He says stuff like he hates your mom, or like your mom's ruining our relationship. Yeah, probably because she knows how awful of a person you are. Or, you know, if he just cheats on you and you still stay with him, that's probably a sign you should leave. Or if his ex-girlfriend gets your number and texts you and says that he's cheating on you, and he tells you to block her, that she's lying. And really just like the people that he surrounds himself with, like if all of his friends are gangsters and alcoholics, he probably is one too. Who said that? Who said that? Also, if
he makes comments about like your weight. Or one time I said, I'm gonna lose 15 pounds before prom. Well, you're not gonna have a boyfriend by prom. Or just if you're having to do all the driving in general. Or on your birthday, if he doesn't get you a gift of any sort. Or if the girls that go to school with him reach out to you and say that he's talking to other girls at school, they're probably not lying to you. And last but not least, if they threaten you when you try to break up with them. Well, this is the finished makeup look. I hope that everybody enjoyed this. And please, girls, stand up for yourself and leave your boyfriend if he is doing these things. Bye.
Okay, if you were in my position, would you tell your friend's boyfriend that your friend was cheating on them? So basically, my friend is someone that I'm fairly close to, but like not really. Just like we hang out every now and then, and my boyfriend is also friends with this person, okay? And she confided in me that, and also I saw screenshots and stuff. She was telling me that she was really into this one guy that she met on Tinder, and I saw that she had a Tinder, and I saw that she was messaging guys, you know, and I'm usually someone who minds their own business. I don't get into drama. I don't get into shit. Like, I don't care usually. Okay. But it's one thing if you're doing it on your own time, but it's another when you're like almost bragging about it to me. And also like not even caring to say that you have a boyfriend when we go out and making it seem like you're single is just something that like I couldn't help but not ignore. But then again, this is my friend, okay? I haven't known her for like that long, but again, like I've known her long enough to where she was able to confide in me, and part of me wants to just shut up and like mind my own business, but another part of me also, it bothers me that like she's doing this and almost kind of like bragging about it to me, and it makes me want to tell her boyfriend. My boyfriend thinks that if you have a friend like that in your life and they're like actively doing bad stuff that you don't agree with, you should like say something and not support it. And I agree, but also I'm like, I can't control this person. Like, she's gonna do whatever she wants to do. I obviously can tell her like I don't agree with that, but like that's not gonna change the fact that she's gonna, you know, she's already done what she's done and she's gonna continue to do it, you know? In a way, I kind of feel like a bad person though for not saying something to this poor guy. And I also, like, I'm not super close with him, and my boyfriend also isn't super close with this guy, but like we've hung out with him. He's really nice and he's a really good boyfriend too, at least of what I've seen. Like, he's a very sweet guy, and part of me feels really, really bad about this. And another part of me is like, I don't think my friend truthfully has the guts to tell him that she's like cheating on him or break up with him. I feel kind of in the middle of it, but also I don't want to be a snitch. My boyfriend and I, we low-key got into a dispute over it because he thinks that I should say something. And I've been cheated on before by my ex, and I know how that feels. And like, I would just feel so stupid if everyone else around me knew and I didn't, and like nobody thought to tell me. And like, another thing is I want to show my boyfriend that I am not supporting people like this, because I don't want to be roped in with like people that do that type of stuff, and I don't want my boyfriend getting suspicious of me if I like continue to go out, like hang out with this person and stuff. I would have to prepare for me to lose a friend if I do end up telling this dude. I mean, I guess I'll update you guys on what I end up doing, but like, am I being a bad friend? Am I overstepping in something that's like not my business? Or am I being a bad person by not saying anything? And does that say something about my character? I've been thinking about it all week long.
Let's talk about some of the rumors that have been spread about me so far in high school. I'm making this video because it's come to my attention that some people literally still believe this stuff, and it's hilarious. We'll start out with the one that was literally commented on my video the other day saying how weird I was for doing this thing. This was like my sophomore or junior year, and on this particular day, some guy and some girl decided to get frisky in the parking lot in the morning. The girl who I thought was my friend started the rumor that it was me and some random guy. First of all, I'm late to school every day. I don't even get there early enough to be taking part in whatever was taking place. Secondly, the guy that she said I did it with had never even seen my car before. Like, what? So yeah, this was a real thing that I literally had to talk to teachers about and like find out who it was. Like, sorry to burst your bubble, it wasn't me. I know exactly who it was now, and I'm not the type to get frisky in the morning in a school parking lot. Like, sorry. This same girl has spread multiple lies about me, such as I cheated on my boyfriend, and someone else spread the same thing about my boyfriend. So what actually happened with my boyfriend's rumor was this guy that wasn't even like a part of my boyfriend's friend group, but he hung out with them on spring break for like a night or two, and he cheated on his girlfriend, and when his girlfriend found out, he like brought everyone else down with him and said that they all did it too. All those boys were cuffed, and none of them even went out on that night. So like, how low do you have to be? And the girl that spread my rumor literally cheated on her boyfriend on a cruise ship and like told me it wasn't true, so I texted the guy that like my friend knew it was. So her little scandal was true, and she brought me down and brought my friend down, saying that she did stuff as well, when I can tell you that is just absurd. And the same girl spread a rumor about me that I was pregnant, and she spread one about my friend that she was pregnant. She was literally the only one having scares of her own. Like, I don't even know what she was talking about. Like, it wasn't even a possibility, and I just remember standing in the student section and someone yelling out, "Kendall's pregnant!" I was in shock, and when I found out where they heard that from, no wonder why we're not friends anymore. Next rumor that was hard for me to get out of is there was a rumor that I was caught vaping in the bathrooms, because a ton of people saw me crying with police officers, and it was because of my own family issues. Like, it had nothing to do with school. A ton of people saw me crying with the cops and just started the rumor that I was vaping in the bathrooms. Like, I don't vape. I've really never touched a vape. I never will vape. Like, how do you get yourself out of a situation when you can't even talk about what was actually going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? People just always have their 2 cents to put in, and I bet you a lot of people think I'm like the worst person in the world. And that's not an assumption. I literally have people commenting on my TikToks about like all these rumors that apparently happen, and that I shouldn't have this platform, and that my life is going nowhere, and that I'm a bully and a liar. Katie Ritchie, Katie Fang, all of them say if you have people from your school making hate accounts just for you, no, you're doing something right. And obviously, like, everyone's had their fair share of scandals. Like, yes, I've had things happen, but like, I'm literally an adult now, and I'm so past like my high school years, and I still have 4 months left. And it's just funny to me that people still cling to like things about me since like sophomore year. I'm a very quiet person now. I just stick to my own business. Like, I'm just trying to get out of high school. I don't hate anyone. Like, I don't have hard feelings about anyone. The only bad thing about me is I have a really bad RBF, so like people probably do think I'm a B-word, but like I can't be smiling all the time. Anyway, there's a crap ton more that I know of, and I'm sure there's like billions more that I don't even know of. I'm all ready to go. My hair needs to fall still. It looks kind of crazy. Going on a date day with my boyfriend. We're gonna go to Cheesecake Factory and get slushies, and then we're gonna go see a movie. I also need to go to Target, so it's gonna be a long, fun day. So hopefully you guys have a good day, and hopefully this was entertaining, and let me know if you want more about this stuff. Peace out. Love you. Bye.
I turned 21 in less than a week, and these are things I wish I knew when I was 17. First of all, the world does not revolve around male validation. A lot of what I used to do and how I used to act revolved around the opinion of guys when I was younger, and I look back and I really regret that. I used to wear a full face of makeup every single day to school, including strip lashes from the age of 16, and I didn't do it for myself. I did it to feel beautiful towards guys. I feel like I just want to give my younger self a hug and tell her that she is beautiful without all of the makeup, and I do not need to wear it in order to be attractive. And now I've learned that makeup is just an accessory to what you already have, and you do not need to wear it every single day. I would genuinely be like Cassie, her like 4 a.m. morning routine every day for school, doing my hair, everything. It was bad. The next thing I wish I knew is that the guy I was having the horrible situationship with, who treated me awfully, is not going to be my soulmate. I was always fixated on this idea that the guy I meet in school is going to be my soulmate, so I always tried to make it work even when he treated me horribly. I have very high standards with relationships now, and I wish I could go back and tell myself to stand up and ditch the guy that is just disgusting. Next is the number of friends you have does not dictate your worth. In school, I was always very envious of the popular group and the girls that had loads of friends. I would always tell myself that because I didn't have as many friends as them, I was worthless. I found myself trying to fit in with people that didn't align with who I was, and I was changing myself in order to look more popular. And of course, as you grow up, you learn that having a smaller circle with people that care so deeply about you is so much better than having a huge circle where they know nothing about your life. I wish I knew how hard it was going to be to find people that truly want the best for you. This is something I still have to deal with, and I often find that the people I think are my friends actually don't want the best for me. It's something that's really hard to accept, but so many people are stuck in their own minds and their own progress that they look down on yours. If you aren't going to cheer for other people, your time will never come. And please, please hold and cherish those friends close that really celebrate you when you're having a win. Because it's those people that are happiest with their lives and they feel secure within themselves that they can celebrate other people. Someone who's insecure and someone who is not happy with their life progress will not be happy for yours. The next one is stop being so insecure. I know it's hard. Things like talking to the camera and long form YouTube content I would avoid because I was too scared about what people would say or talk about at school. And then the worst thing is when you're left with the what ifs in the future, like the what if I started sooner, what if I did this, what if I did that, and it's all because I was insecure. But at the same time, I also wish I could tell my younger self that it is so normal to feel this insecure, and as you grow up, you're going to fall more in love with yourself and you are naturally going to blossom. It's just that age is the peak age of just self-hatred. And in relation to that, you do not need to look like people online. I became so fixated on the idea that I had certain features that weren't attractive, when really it is TikTok and Instagram that are creating these insecurities that people didn't even know they had. I'm still trying to get over this one, if I'm honest, because it is so hard with the amount of media we consume and the people we see every day on our phones. It is so hard not to compare, but comparison is the thief of joy, and we are so much more than our looks. I used to be so fixated on the idea that the more beautiful I was, the more successful I'd be. And if I didn't have certain features or I didn't look like those I saw online, I wouldn't be successful. But now I am finally learning that our appearance is the least interesting thing about us. I also want to tell myself to stop buying clothes from Shein every day. Don't get me wrong, we all go through our fast fashion phase, and we go through our phase where we order way too many parcels every day. I used to order so much from Shein, and I can guarantee I have none of it in my wardrobe now. It is all binned or sold. I was very privileged from a young age to be able to buy my own things, and I wish I could have invested into things that are a little bit more expensive that were long lasting, because I wasted a lot of my money on fast fashion. It's okay to obviously buy fast fashion, but I was buying a lot of it, and obviously I have none of it now, so yes, it was a big waste of my money. I think I used to crave that dopamine rush of ordering something and then getting it, that I would do it over and over again. Next up is talk about your feelings sooner, please. I really struggled with my mental health when I was about 17, and I didn't talk to anyone about it. I often felt like my problems weren't valid enough and that talking about them would make me seem stupid. It was only last year that I started going to regular therapy sessions. I don't go anymore, but when I did, I felt so relieved and I felt so validated with how I felt. It also made me realize that I am not alone, and I often felt like that when I was younger. I felt so isolated with my mental health. I just wish I started talking to someone sooner, because a lot of those years I was suffering in silence and I wish I wasn't. Whereas now, if I feel like I'm struggling or going through a bad phase, the first people I reach out to are my friends and family, and if it gets to a point where I need to speak to someone professionally, I will. This is your sign to talk about your feelings and not bottle them in, because it makes it 10 times worse. And the last one is to live and eat what you want, do what you want, have fun, because after all, life is not that serious. As long as you're happy and you are healthy, it's gonna be okay. And also, who actually cares about doing the 75 hard? Not me. I never will. I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for sticking by me through all these years.
I am my father's affair child. Get ready with me, story time. So my mom didn't know my dad was married, and when she found out, she instantly broke it off, but she was already pregnant. So of course, my mother decided to have me, and honestly, she's been a great mom to me. I have no complaints. My relationship with my father is okay. He does take me out on the weekends. He does visit for holidays, but I've never really lived with him. I remember one day when I was younger, I had to go to my father's house because my mom got extremely sick, so I was there for a couple of hours. And I remember the moment that I got there, my dad's wife started yelling at him, and I had to actually separate myself from her because of how upset she was, so I was literally in a bedroom away from her. To this day, I have no idea why she was extremely upset. I can assume that she was upset because I was there, but it's not my fault that they had a baby and he cheated on her. This has nothing to do with me. I'm sorry. Not to mention, can you really be upset because you knew he cheated and he had a kid and you're still with him? So My mom explained the cheating situation to me when I got older, and I realized how weird their situation was compared to how my other friends' parents got divorced. I don't know, not to compare, but it was just very weird. I do have my opinions on their situation, but honestly, he's my dad, so I try not to think much about it. I know my dad's wife hates him and is the reason why I can't see my dad anymore. And honestly, she has a reason to be mad, but also screw her. Anyway, a couple months ago, my dad actually started asking me if I wanted to spend the whole weekend with him, which honestly to me was very weird, was very sus, because his girl never wanted me around. She hated me. I had questions. I responded to him and I told him I would be okay spending the whole weekend with him as long as it's not at his house. He said his wife wants me to come and how she has a change of heart. And I immediately said no. It was very sus to me. It was very weird. I knew there was something going on at this point. So that weekend passed by, and then the following weekend came up and me and my dad had plans to go eat lunch. The weird thing is his wife actually wanted to tag along, which is again weird because she never used to. So what changed? She ended up coming to this lunch with my father and I, and honestly I wasn't really a fan of her being there, but I was also just trying to keep my calm, just trying to be nice. I didn't need to be nice, but I chose to be nice, okay? There at least has to be one mature one here. At the lunch, she basically told me how important I am to my father, especially now because they can't have kids, and how she wants to make it up to me. She asked if she can be my stepmom, and I was like, you want me to let you be my stepmom after everything you put me through? Absolutely not. It made me really upset, and honestly, I have the right to be upset. My whole life, she made it extremely difficult to see my father, and now you want to be nice? Now you want to be nice because you recently found out that you can't have kids? Wow. I'm not gonna lie, I might have let my emotions get in the way a tad bit, and I might have been a little bit of an ass to her, but I feel like she deserved it. Why, you might ask? I basically told her not being able to have kids is her karma because of how awful she treated me growing up, and I also ended up telling her that she was going to be nothing to me other than my father's wife. Lunch was over, and later on she ended up crying to my father, and my dad ended up telling me that I had to go and apologize to her because what I said was very evil and cruel, which I mean I understand, but can you blame me? Anyway, that night was over with. I ended up going back to my mom's house, and one thing about me is I cannot hide my facial expressions. I cannot hide my emotions, so my mother knew something was wrong. I ended up telling my mother everything, and she basically told me that my dad's wife put me in an unfair situation. My mother also mentioned to me that I should probably avoid her and stop talking to her, just give her some time, give her some space, and honestly, I agree with her. I am aware that my dad's wife is going through a lot, and she is dealing with infertility, and honestly she probably isn't over things, which is why she blew up, which is understandable, but also too it's just like, why does she have to disregard my feelings because now she went through something? Like, I don't know, but to me it's just very sad and upsetting how the only reason she decided to apologize is because she found out that she wasn't able to have kids, and maybe I wasn't for it, but I feel like she kind of deserved it. I don't know, you let me know. How would you have reacted?
I always hear people talk about how, like, no matter what it is, there's somebody that's into it, if you know what I mean. But I never realized, like, how true that actually is until I'm literally confronted with it. Like, I randomly remember that one guy that, like, plagues the cosplay community who has a thing for, like, the little poof that dresses do when you sit down in them. And literally, like, any girl cosplaying in, like, a big dress, you will see him in the comments. And he pretends to be a girl, I'm pretty sure. And he'll be like, oh, your dress is so pretty, like, you should sit down in it. Because he gets off on it. On a dress poofing. And obviously nobody's thinking about that. Like, nobody's like, he wants me to sit down because he's into it. Like, who's thinking that? So they do it because this guy's a freak. But there's other people on the internet that do stuff like that, or accounts that literally farm, like, that type of content. Like, don't even get me started on, like, Troom. But again, I just forget that people can be into literally anything until, like, I see it firsthand. And I've seen it firsthand recently. Probably like 2 or 3 months ago, I posted this picture of my fingernails talking about how, like, my pinky fingernail is always way longer than the rest. Because, you know, my nails just naturally do go really long, but for some reason my pinkies are always longer. But a lot of people in the comments, like, a lot of girls were asking, like, oh, how do you get your nails so long? Sorry guys, I don't have any advice, it's just genetics. But then I started getting comments from this account on literally every single one of my videos, like, oh, can I see your nails, like they're so long, like how do you grow them so long? And again, I was getting a lot of comments from girls asking like what nail oil I use and stuff, so I didn't really think anything of it. But then the DMs started rolling in. Ever since I posted that picture, I have gotten like 5 DMs per week from middle-aged men telling me how obsessed they are with my fingernails. One guy literally wrote out a message talking about how he loves my fingernails and how it's so hard to find a girlfriend with fingernails like that. Again, mind you, middle-aged. And I am 20, so it's not like it's illegal. But a lot of people think I'm younger than 20, so it feels odd to me. Especially considering I don't have my age like in my bio or anything, and I rarely talk about how old I am. But yeah, I have literally gotten countless DMs from men like telling me how obsessed they are with my fingernails. And yesterday I had a guy go through like probably 6 months worth of videos and save anything that my fingernails were in. Like even if I'm just like going like this and you see a glimpse of them, oh, it's saved. Obviously I've been blocking all of them because I did not sign up for this. I didn't agree to this. Please leave me alone. But it still just weirds me out. And like I said, I never would have thought that that's like a thing. And now like every time I post a video, I'm like, should I like try to make sure I don't get my fingernails in it? Clearly I decided against that because with the like content I make, that's pretty much impossible. Like I'm not going to be doing my makeup like this. So I'm just sticking with blocking them, but it is just really annoying because it's like, I didn't consent to this. Like, you guys are freaking weirdos. Like, literally, why do you guys have to be so weird and sexualize, like, everything people do? Like, I can't even show my hands on here without being worried that somebody's gonna get off on it. You know, it's not my place to judge what other people are into, but it is my place to judge when you're dragging me into it. Please leave me alone. I saw several of them literally had girlfriends or wives because, again, they are middle-aged. Actually just annoys me so bad because, like, please let me live. Bye.
I hate to break it to you, but if you do any of these things, you are not a girl's girl. If your friend tells you she likes somebody and then you hook up with the person she likes, oh, we don't do that. Lollipop, there's so many people in this world, like you didn't need to steal the one person she liked. If your personality changes when you're around guys and you start like making fun of your best friend, how about no, like let's not do that. There's no need to bring down your bestie to make some men like you. If your go-to way to shit talk people is commenting on the way they look, yeah, I fear you're just not a nice person. That's just unkind. I'm not saying you don't need to like everybody. Trust me, I hate a lot of people. I'm working on it. Why comment on the way they look? Like, stop. Holy pigment. The Patrick Top blushes honestly do never miss. If I smell like shit and you don't tell me, not a girl's girl. I think my biggest fear is smelling bad. Like, if I smell bad, please, just tell me. Give me some perfume. I'm not gonna be offended. I'm not. Those for like if I have like food in my teeth or like a boogie in my nose. Let me go in public like that, we will no longer be friends. If you were all buddy-buddy with your bestie's ex, you're not a girl's girl. Unless you've known this man for 15 years, like since birth, and like you introduced them, like that's the vibe. Or yeah, I'll let that slide, but like girl, no. Especially if he did bestie dirty, like let's just not. We're going out and having a girls' night, we're going out and having a girls. Don't ditch your best friend at the club for a man that you probably will never see again. That one night will not be worth it. Girls, it's time we all do better. Let's go into 2025 being the ultimate girl's girl. Thank you. I'll see y'all tomorrow for another day. Love ya. Bye.